Hey guys, welcome to Denny's. Today, we're going to be going over what I believe to be the best inorganic shard farm in the game right now. More specifically, we will be going over the Descendant, the build we are using to maximize the efficiency on the farm, as well as the farm itself and how to get the most shards out of it. You do not need, just a quick note guys, you do not need a super juice Descendant to be able to do this, so definitely stay tuned. Before we get into it, remember guys to leave a like if I helped you in any way, comment any feedback you have for me down below in the comment section, and subscribe only if you feel that I have earned it. If not, next time I will, so keep up to date with the channel. Remember guys, I'm live on Twitch 6 days a week, so come, stop by, say hello. I love chatting with each and every single one of you guys. It's been really, really fun. I'm having a blast doing so, so definitely stop by. And then don't forget, we launched the Denny's Community Discord, and the link is located in the description below, as well as a Patreon, guys. I officially launched a Patreon. If you would like to support me on Patreon, your names will be featured at the end of each one of my videos, and you do get a special Discord rank, but more details on that at the actual Patreon link in the description below. Without further ado, let's hop right into the mission and right into the farm real quick. So first things first, we are looking for the mission. We're going to be looking for White Knight Gulch. It is located in the shipment base on the north side of the map, right next to the main fast travel point. It is the Toxic Void Fragment mission. You are going to be receiving 20 inorganic void shards as well as 3 organic void shards. Obviously, you're doing this for inorganics. If you want organics, definitely do the Lepic farm I talked about in a previous video. But you're also going to be receiving 750 quantum crystals. I did want to also mention, I know a lot of you will probably say that the Bunny Cave is a very good farm for these, and it is. I just wanted to put this farm out because if you are just going for inorganic shards, this is actually more efficient, as with at least two Freynas, you can get the time of the mission down to 30 to 40 seconds for each completion, and you're getting 20, whereas it's about 15 to 25 seconds in the Bunny Cave. Now, guys, it's about a 10 to 20 second difference per completion, and you are getting right around 3.5 times the amount of inorganic shards from this one. Obviously, if you want to turn your brain off and you want to go for that bunny farm, go for it. It's definitely a very good one. You're getting a lot of EXP, but if you just want inorganic void shards as fast as you can get them, I truly think this is actually the best way to go as far as the inorganic shards, just by a pretty large margin, to be honest. Now, as far as the Descendant, there's only one we can use, so obviously we're going to be talking about Freyna in this video. So let's talk about her. So I've got a couple different builds, a couple different options for people that don't have as much invested in Freyna. In fact, don't have anything invested in Freyna. And then I've got an option for people who have put a energy activator in her, or maybe 1 or 2 catalysts. So we will go into those now. We're going to start off with the no activator setup. As you can see, we've got skill expansion, skill extension, nimble fingers, tech master, and focus on tech. Now, this is, importantly enough, this is the no activator setup, guys. Obviously, I'm using my long distance maneuvering for the extra 10. This is a really, really good setup for Freyna if you are trying to mob with a little to no investment. What you're going to be getting from this is basically a permanent uptime on your third ability as well as your first ability. And you're going to be able to use that first ability to hit the pylon as much as you can, which is really, really good. Now, as far as the build for the Descendant modules for the energy activator and 1 catalyst, all I do is I actually add on tech specialist instead of focus on tech to get the extra 8% skill power modifier or so, which is actually quite important on Freyna for her V and for her Q damage over time abilities. If you want a video on breaking down skill power modifier versus skill power, let me know, guys. But basically on Freyna, it is much more worth it to go for skill power modifier when you are doing a dot build or a mobbing build, in my opinion. But I do go for that tech specialist over that focus on tech. And then I add the battle of stamina as well as the multi-talented. Now, multi-talented is extremely, extremely sleeper on Freyna. Not many people are talking about multi-talented on Freyna, or at least people that I have been watching. Basically, what you've got here in multi-talented is the same exact kind of thing you have with Bunny, where as soon as you press your Q or your V and that buff is up, you are snapshotting the damage over time effect on your your first ability or your third ability. So you are snapshotting a giant 30% attribute damage buff on those abilities when you use that. And then what you can actually do is use your second ability when that buff falls off, because it's gonna stay snapshotted on your 2 abilities. You can actually use your second ability to proc a dimension with the multi-talented and get 20% additional cooldown with Freyna, which is absolutely insane, guys. Multi-talent. This is just a budget build, but multi-talented goes so hard on Freyna. And I really, really enjoy the playstyle because it keeps you kind of on your feet. You have to make sure you proc the buffs at the right time. It's extremely enjoyable, but just for farming at least. So that is my build with the, as far as the energy activator and the one catalyst I have. I obviously battle of stamina for the extra duration and HP, but that is the Descendants builds. I'm going to go into my reactor just really quickly because this is the one that I've got. It's just a Thunder Cage with toxic skill power boost, skill duration up. And then we've also got literally just the Slayer set on. Definitely not what I want to have on Freyna. I do want to have the set from the, what's his name, Swamp Walker. I want to try that out. I'm not too sure if it'll be better, but I think it would be for mobbing, to be honest. So I really want to try that out, but I am using the Slayer set for now. Nothing crazy there. And then obviously I'm using a Thunder Cage. The Thunder Cage is just good for mobbing. It cleans up anything you're not able to kill instantly during this farm with your V or your Q, or excuse me, your third ability or your first ability. So that is the entire build. And now I'm going to jump into the gameplay loop real quick. All right, guys, so we are at the mission now. Now, when you do start the mission, you're going to notice there is 2 spawn points. There is one right here, and then there is going to be another one inside the cave very far away. Now, like I said, you are going to need to have at least 2 Freynas to make this as efficient as possible. The Freyna that is positioned on this cliff here that I'm aiming at now should be the one that is using their Q on the pylon. This Freyna is going to be solely focused on killing all the mobs here, as this side is a little bit harder. So if one Freyna is better than the other, guys, I definitely recommend putting your stronger Freyna here, because there are some tankier mobs on this side. But literally, obviously, all you're doing is just setting up, you're posting up in these 2 spawns, and as you'll see in the background footage, didn't want to make this too long, you'll be just killing these over and over and over again. That is the setup for the mission. Now let's go into the gameplay loop breakdown in the laboratory real quick. All right, let's spice it up just a little bit. We're going to move on to the second build that has an activator and a catalyst. Multi-talented is extremely, extremely fun to use. We will be going over the gameplay loop for this, just the added extra duration here, the added damage from this and cooldown reduction, and then the added skill power modifier that we get here. So we're going to go into it. So now this one requires a little bit more thought. It's not much, but multi-talented to keep the buffs up. You're going to want to be paying attention to the buffs on the left side of your character. So when you first shoot off your first ability, you're going to notice there is a buff that we get. You can see there. That is going to give us a snapshot. If we throw our V down before it runs out, we're going to get 30% increased damage on that entire V that we just threw down. And then we can throw down another Q, and then that will give us a snapshot on the Q. What I like to do before I throw down the Q is use my second ability to get cooldown reduction on both my first ability and my third ability. So now we have the Q back up. You see it gave us the tech boost, and there's the buff with the tech boost, and now we've got that snapshotted. And then we're waiting for the pylon to spawn, making sure we're paying attention to that. And we're just rotating these buffs, guys. So as you can see, it's got 2 seconds, 1 second, and now it's off. So I'm going to use my second ability to get the cooldown reduction. My cooldown reduction just went up by 20% because of multi-talented. So now we're going to use V and Q. And that is literally it. You are going as fast as you possibly can with little investment in Freyna with this build. Obviously, the other build, you don't have to worry about really min-maxing multi-talented. You just throw your stuff down and you are good. But I wanted to at least go over it so people understood exactly what you are doing to do a better job within the farm. All right, guys, and that is pretty much it for the video. I know it was a longer one, especially just for a farm. Give me some feedback. My whole reasoning for making this a little bit longer is just going into detail on the very little amount of investment that I have on Freyna and how to make her as good as possible. But I really appreciate anyone who stayed this far. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week. And I'm out of here, guys. Peace out. Goodbye. So when you first shoot off your Q, oh my goodness. So when you first